Today we're going to be talking about the Megalag Honey scandal, the video that went viral a few weeks ago with 16 million views, essentially exposing this browser extension called Honey for scamming consumers, scamming advertisers, and scamming content creators. Disclaimer, first up, if you don't know what a cookie is, and I'm sure most of you do, a cookie is essentially a little bit of script that follows you around on the internet. Every website, every app, every single thing that you type into Google or Bing is tracked, recorded, and sold to all of those companies that want that data. One more disclaimer, we've had to bleep a few brands that I've mentioned in here because I probably shouldn't have. Like many of you YouTube natives out there, a few weeks ago I woke up to a really strange clickbait thumbnail. It had MKBHD, Linus Sebastian, Mark Rober, and I think Aaron from Mr. Who's the Boss, with ghostly white eyes and devil horns on their head, staring with puppet strings above them with the word honey above that, and the logo of that annoying browser extension sitting there controlling them. This is nothing new in the world of YouTube clickbait, and so I ignored it, as I'm sure many people have. Thought, it's probably just another scam video that's not really a scam, it's just a load of nonsense. And so I went about my day, carried on numbing my mind with other various content from different platforms, and then came back to it. It kept on following me around. It was there every single day when I went into YouTube, every single evening when I checked in on what was going on. That annoying thumbnail was following me around. I finally decided to start watching it, and I normally give YouTube videos kind of similar to where people who actually read books and do intelligent things give it 50 pages before they give up. With YouTube, I give it a minute. And if within a minute it's captured my attention, I'm going to carry on watching. And within this one, it took about 30 seconds. I started to feel a pit of guilt in my stomach, and I couldn't figure out what it was about. I couldn't figure out why I was suddenly feeling as though it was me that was responsible for this scam. And then it hit me. This isn't anything new. This is affiliate marketing. What really shocked me is the willingness of the public to actually engage with this story. I'm sure some of you will have seen it. It's got 16 million views now. It was the #1 trending video on YouTube for a long while. And the public don't normally care about advertising, especially when it comes to affiliate marketing. But in this case, it had everyone commenting, engaging. I heard about it from friends that don't even care about what I do. And normally when people say, oh, my phone's listening to me, oh, these bloody things, they know everything about me, I normally brush it off with you're more predictable than you think. It's quite easy to understand human behavior, and actually advertising is more of a science than it's ever been. And I sort of just leave it at that. But in this case, people wanted to know more, and that's the genius of this particular video. The truth is, I was at the heart of this nefarious industry about 8-9 years ago in my first advertising agency. And when I worked there, it was a company called... It had offices in Denver, Tel Aviv, New York, Brighton, which is where I was based. And it was essentially pitched as a way of marketing apps. All the ones that you find those really annoying adverts for, and I was responsible for those. And it seemed normal. It seemed like we would show an ad to someone, they would click on the ad, they would download the app, and we were done with it. But that wasn't the truth. The truth came out in the basement of a club in New York City, in the meatpacking district. I was there for a conference and to meet our client at the time, and everything seemed very normal. The company was making millions. I was trying to understand how they had homes in Hawaii, in New York, and in Denver, and all over the place. And they drove Aston Martins, and it was just confusing to me how much money we were making and how great the ads were performing. I didn't understand because, I'll be honest, the ads, they weren't anything special. A developer from our Tel Aviv team sat next to me and he said, in a rather drunken way, you know we drop cookies, right? And I said, well, of course. How else are we supposed to understand if someone's installed the app that we're advertising to that person? And he said, no. We drop cookies. And that sort of sparked something in my mind. I started to think about what he was saying, and I went back to the way in which we advertise. We were using something called superlinks, which were every ad under the sun, thousands of ads on one link. And the idea was that the algorithm would, in the split second of you opening an app, figure out whether you're going to prefer to download and serve you that ad. But that wasn't the truth either. And when I dug into it a little bit more, I found out that what cookie dropping meant is that for all 1,000 ads that were sitting in that one link, If a user in the next 90 days downloaded any of those apps, we would take a commission. And that's how the company was making money. It was actually probably the 48 sheet in Times Square that was driving the conversions. It could have been an advert on Google. It could have been a Spotify ad. It could have been a Snapchat filter that was driving the install of that particular app at the time. But it wasn't. We always claimed it was us because we had dropped a cookie on that user that said that's what happened. And that's what affiliate marketing really is. It's who can steal the attribution. If you imagine a car salesman in a dealership walking you through doing the test drive, showing you the car, talking through the benefits, even figuring out the PCP deal with you and the finances. And then at the last second, another car salesman comes in and goes, I'll finish this sale up, and just takes the money and walks away with his commission. That's essentially what affiliate marketing was about 8 or 9 years ago. And I thought as I moved to a real agency, RBH, that I could escape that. But what we've seen with Honey and this particular scam, this particular scandal, is that it's not dead yet. And big companies are still doing it. Honey is owned by PayPal, one of the biggest financial services providers in the world. And it seems great on paper. The idea is you install a browser extension, and every time you go to shop, you get the best deal and coupon code possible. It goes straight into the inbox of that little drop-down menu, and essentially you get money for free. And that was the way in which it was marketed. The problem this time, and the reason why people were engaging with it, is that they hurt creators. So people like Linus Tech Tips and MKBHD were extolling the virtues of Honey and telling everyone to install it. And it has millions and millions of users. You probably have it on your browser right now. Those same creators, they make their revenue from selling things to the public. And whenever they do a next video after the Honey one, then they're trying to get you to buy a screwdriver or a hairdryer or a Hoover. Whatever it might be that they're trying to get you to buy, they always say, click the link in my bio to purchase this item. The way that works is that link has a tiny little bit at the end that says it came from this creator, so that when the brand pays out, they go, okay, a small commission goes to that creator for generating this sale. But what does Honey do? The second you use Honey, it claims all of that commission. If you use Honey on your browser, no matter where that user came from, that wonderful social post that your organic social team worked on, the paid search ad that your media team worked on, whether it's the out of home, the billboard that they looked at and then they decided to actually buy your product, whatever it is, the last second, it won't be organic, it won't be paid media, it won't be social. It will come through as a Honey transaction. And they will claim that they're the only people who generated that sale and it came from them. And so that hurt creators. Their revenue was dropping, and it took Megalag to be the one to expose it. And that's why people started getting interested. The second thing that Honey did is that if you're a brand, let's say you have a Shopify site and you're noticing that Honey is generating a lot of your transactions, you might want to work with Honey. And if you do that, you can control the coupon codes. And so consumers were getting hurt as well. You might have thought, I'm getting the best possible deal, I'm buying this vacuum cleaner, look at that money I've saved. That's the price that the brand wanted you to pay. They're not scouring the web for all the coupon codes. They're just the ones that Honey wanted to show you because they worked with the brand that you're buying from. And so the consumers aren't getting the coupon codes that they deserve, and Honey is taking all the commission for all the sales that are happening. But there's a third part here, and it's the part that no one's talked about. And of course, we're quite close to. Advertising agencies. We have a number of e-commerce clients here at RBH, and we run paid media for them, organic social for them. We work on content for them. We generate ads for them. We work tireless hours and months and years creating a funnel and a marketing strategy that's going to generate them sales with a good return on investment. And we do a very good job of it. The problem is, if a user's using Honey, all of that work that we put into all of those ads and all of that creative and cultivating a brand culture for those consumers disappears the second that a user clicks on that Honey extension. The second that they apply that coupon code, the advertising agency doesn't look like it's made a sale. And so when we get to our monthly reports and we're talking to our clients, they go, well, the sales are the same, but advertising channels aren't working. Maybe we need to spend less. Maybe we need to turn them off because we're actually getting all these transactions through not set or unknown, or if they're working with Honey, it comes through as Honey. And so why use an advertising agency when Honey's generating all these sales? The reality is Honey is just that salesman at the very end of that transaction, popping in, saying, actually, I'll finish this sale, and taking it away from us. So the public are engaged. People are commenting, liking, sharing this video. And it's not just this video. The creators have responded, and there's millions of views on those as well. People have apologized for advertising Honey. MKBHD has done so. Linus Tech Tips has actually published a statement themselves. But will it carry on? Is this the end of cookie dropping and affiliate marketing? Well, the reality is that Google were going to fix this. About 2 or 3 years ago, they claimed we're going to end cookies online. There'll be no more cookies for people to engage with. They're gone. But in true sense, and the way in which Google work, they went back on it. A few months ago, they did a 180 and said, actually, you know what? I think we're going to keep cookies. I think Google realized that the money that they could make from leaving cookies on their platform and across the internet, not getting rid of them, was too great compared to using server-side tracking or doing things in a more natural manner. And so there will always be a company. It might not be Honey, but there will always be a company that tries to take that sale at the very last second. You've just got to be smart about avoiding it. If you want to know any more about how advertising works, how cookies work, how you're tracked online, or how to avoid scams like this, feel free to get in touch or subscribe to the channel, because we'll be making more videos like this going forwards.